Hey everybody, Shifu O here again. I just finished my workout and I wanted to take some time out to put more warnings out there. But it's going to be a little different this time. I got a lot of inboxes since my last video that I put up. And I want to address some of it. You know, Jimmy Sherman is a coward. We know that. I've called him out on many times to talk to me. He knows what he did is wrong. He knows I'm not lying. But I just want to give you guys an example of how far this dude will go. Now, when I first started doing these videos, I originally put on a post that let people know what Jimmy Sherman was doing. Many people got on that post and said that I was insecure and I had issues. Since then, many of you have come to the cause and started looking at the facts and using your head and not doing what Jimmy Sherman has told you. So I'm just now finding out through these most recent texts that since that time, I knew one of the things that he said was that he and my ex-wife didn't have any contact, with the exception of trying to get my daughter to practice. We all know that's not a truth, that the contact was a lot. They were calling each other all the time. You know, my only guess is that she trusted him, or whatever the case may be. It may be more, it may be less. I don't care. That's the bottom line. But that's where things really started. I had no idea what was going on. I had my accusations, but it wasn't until my 8-year-old started sending me text messages that I started to realize that there was a lot more going on here. And I warned people like DFACS for child safety, and nobody seemed to want to lift a finger until now. So what I'm hearing now is that Mr. Sherman, he doesn't deserve, well, we're going to call him Jeremy Sherman. He was spreading rumors about me all along, that I was a whore, that I'm a sorry father, and according to him, my daughter was confiding in him and looking at him as a father figure. She didn't need a father figure, for she had one. Now, those of you who know me, and those of you who don't know me or just see me, the one thing that you guys know about me, whether you like me or not, whether you like what I'm saying or not, the one thing that you know about me, that I am a great father. As for the whoring stuff, I never cheated on anybody in my life. In my life. You know, I have a lady now, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand where he get all that from. That was part of him grooming my daughter, convincing her that what I was doing. You know, all the time I was with my ex, never slept with another woman, period. That's no one's business whether I did or not. But again, I have to tell my truth, you know, and to tell the truth. My truth is that he started all these rumors. He started rumors about my daughter and said that I was the one that started them. So not cool. Now let's talk about, he says in one of his recent posts that I have done this before. I have thrown people under the bus. Ladies and gentlemen, I come from an era where somebody says something to you, you go to them, or says something about them, about you. You step to them. You know, you don't ignore it, because if you ignore it, people tend to say that it's true. So I'd be knocking on your door if there was no internet or anything like that. You know, yeah, you can see I'm in the woods, and that's what we do our training. Say hi, Justin.
What's up, people?
So I use the internet to warn everybody of what happened, because I can't be more emphatical about if someone would have said something that I wouldn't be on here now. People knew how he was. They knew the things that he did in the past, and no one really said anything until this started coming out. And talking to his ex, you know, she seen it. I couldn't believe that she saw it and I didn't. And sometimes, like I said, I trusted this man. And that's how you guys know that we never had a beef until this. Jimmy Sherman says, I wanted, you know, my daughter off his team, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But then I noticed that he was acting like my family was his family. He wanted a champion like his mentor has. And he threw his mentor under the bus the same way he threw everybody else under the bus. But we're getting off course here. The whole thing is that this man from day one has spread lies about my personal life and everything else. He got involved in things that didn't even concern him with my school business. It didn't concern him. It was none of his business. But he was setting me up to fall so that he can do what he needs to do with my daughter. And that's the bottom line. So when it comes to me throwing people under the bus and he says I have done this before, there's only one person I really done this to before, and I apologize to him, I retract it, and there's not a day that I don't go past that I don't want to call him up and apologize, because it's because of Jeremy Sherman that I put him on blast. Now, I have a book that's coming out called I Shifu. And I tell a lot of stuff that's happened to me and this, that, and the other. And he's talking about, well, I've done this before. What I have done is, since people like him are coward and they don't want to talk it out, we could have easily talked this out. And yeah, I would have bust that ass. Let's not get it twisted. You know, I would have beat him down. But it would have been over with. Plain and simple. I don't want anybody else harming this man. Because then, you know, you put yourself in a situation of getting in trouble, and he's a coward. He's not worth it. But I will say this. Yes, I got on YouTube and I blasted people that blasted me. The difference is they were doing secretly. It was a whisper thing. They would call someone up, this, that, the other. You know, Shifu is this. You know, Shifu was sleeping with that person. You know, Shifu did that. None of that was true, for one. And secondly, my reaction to it was to fight back. I'm not going to just let people say stuff about me that's not true. If you say it and it's true, I'm going to think about it and I'm going, you know what? You're right. Now, if you're a friend or someone I care about, I'm going to do everything in my power to change that if I care about you. If I don't care about you, guess what? I'm going to keep doing the same thing and show you that I just don't care about you. That's what Jimmy Sherman has done. He took a child's innocence. And yeah, she's not exactly innocent herself, but she is a victim here. She's a total victim. And now she's ordered to do therapy. And, you know, who would be willing? And that's the question you need to ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen. And I have said this plenty of times. If you have a beef with someone and that person is saying you have a beef and all this stuff is happening because you have a beef, and somebody from the police department calls you and tells you had to stop because of a beef, you going to stop? Or if you're telling the truth and you are steadfast in your convictions and you know you are right and you have proof on top of proof and testimony on top of testimony saying that you're right, aren't you going to stop? Especially if police are involved. I mean, come on now. You're going to stop. I'm here to tell you I am not going to stop. I am not doing anything wrong. I'm warning everybody about what this man is capable of. Because I could not sleep if this happened to another girl, and I've been sitting here talking and talking and talking, and the same people who are not listening and are still supporting his team, the promoters, that if something happens at their event, you know, you got to look at it that way. Something could happen at their event, and they still allowing this man to come out. To me, that is absolutely ridiculous. Why would anybody, after even seeing the conversation between the email I had with the investigator about him admitting that he had a relationship, why would any promoter allow him or his team The team is pretty much saying that this man is right. We support him 100%, whether he's a pedophile or not. That's not cool. Is that cool?
No.
See, that's not cool. He says it's sick. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, wake up. Use your head. The promoters that are allowing him and his team to come, you know...
Would you let Jimmy Sherman date your daughter on a regular night? Not saying it's wrong. We're saying back in the day. Would you just be like, hey, Jimmy, you can have my daughter?
Heck no.
No.
But that's what everybody's saying. Everybody that support him, every team member that he has, every parent that allows their team or their child to be on his team is saying, you know what? It is okay for a 45-year-old to sleep with a 16-year-old. It's okay for a 45-year-old to groom a 15-year-old into having sex. These things are all okay. It's okay for him to use sport karate as a pedestal for doing this stuff. You know, sport karate has its challenges as it is. I've grown to love the sport. That's why I won't stop coming. That's why I won't stop supporting people. But at the same time, if you're allowing this to go on at your event, what if something happens? Okay, that's a big what if, especially now with all this information going out. But what if? The first thing people are going to say, well, guess what? This guy, Shifu, has been telling you about this guy all along. And what have you done? You ignored it and you allowed this man to come in. And so now there's a victim at your event. Look at it that way. Look at it if it was your niece, your mama, your everything. This guy has nothing off limits. And then he wants to hide behind all of a sudden he's praying for people and this, that, and the other. No, he's not. He's using it as a disguise, and that makes it even more despicable. You know, so with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, be careful, be safe, and everyone in the Columbia, South Carolina area really needs to watch out, because this dude is dangerous. And with that, everybody be safe, good training, all that stuff. Shifu out.